Chosen one, there are moments when the universe rearranges itself quietly and someone appears, not by accident, not by coincidence. Their presence feels familiar, yet it shakes something deep within you. This is no ordinary meeting. It is a mirror sent by the heavens to reveal who you truly are. In the Shaolin path we say, when the outer world shifts, it is because the inner one is ready. Every person who enters your life is a messenger of that readiness. Some come to challenge your patience, others to awaken your hidden strength, and a few are sent as companions, souls who walk beside you, not to complete you, but to refine you. When such a person arrives, your task is not to hold them, but to understand why they came. What are they showing you about yourself? What patterns do they reflect? Discipline, peace, or perhaps the lessons you still avoid? This is where true Shaolin practice begins. Seeing beyond the surface, reading the silent language between souls. In this video, you will learn how to recognize this divine arrival and how to respond with awareness, not attachment. You will discover the hidden Shaolin teachings that guide us to transform relationships into training grounds for mastery. By the end, you will see that the companion sent to you is not a reward, but a responsibility, a sacred test of presence, patience, and purpose. I am Xie Heng Yi, and this is Shaolin Soulfire, a space where ancient wisdom meets modern awakening. Stay with me until the end, and you will see your connections through new eyes. If you wish to walk this path of inner clarity and outer balance, subscribe now and join the circle of those who train not just the body, but the soul. There is a quiet power in simply being where you are. Most people rush through conversations, already thinking of their reply. They see without seeing, hear without listening, speak without awareness. But a Shaolin practitioner learns early. Mastery does not begin with movement. It begins with stillness. When I first entered the temple as a young disciple, my master would hand me a bowl of water and say, "Walk across the courtyard without spilling a drop." It sounded simple, yet every step revealed the chaos of my mind. Thoughts about balance, fear of failure, the weight of attention itself. That was my first lesson in presence. The body can only move with grace when the mind is completely here. The same truth lives within companionship. Every word exchanged, every silence shared, is a mirror of your awareness. To be truly present with another is to enter meditation with open eyes, not retreating from the world but entering it completely. You listen with your breath. You see with your stillness. You respond, not react. Shaolin practice calls this discipline of presence the art of meeting the moment fully. It is not dramatic. It is quiet, patient, deliberate. To sit across from your companion and feel the weight of the air between you, to sense their emotions without losing your own center, this is real training. When presence deepens, misunderstanding fades. You begin to sense the rhythm beneath words, the truth beneath emotion. This discipline transforms ordinary moments into practice. Breakfast becomes awareness, conversation becomes meditation, and love becomes the training ground of the spirit. To live like this is not easy, but the path of mastery never is. Each moment demands your full attention, your full heart, your full self, nothing less. There is an old Shaolin saying, "Where the mind rests, life gathers." Attention is not just a mental act. It is the force that shapes your reality. Whatever you feed with focus grows stronger. Whatever you ignore begins to fade. Most people scatter their attention like seeds in the wind, wondering why nothing takes root. But the disciplined soul learns to plant it with intention. In companionship, this becomes the difference between harmony and distance. When your attention is divided, drifting between your phone, your worries, your assumptions, the other person feels it, even in silence. Disconnection begins not with words, but with absence. Yet when you bring your full awareness to another soul, they sense presence as surely as warmth from the sun. The Shaolin path trains this through endless repetition. Breathing, movement, stillness, all designed to tame the wandering mind. The same principle applies in relationships. You learn to notice your emotions rise and fall like waves, without chasing or resisting them. You allow anger to pass without speech, joy to soften without clinging, sadness to breathe without drowning. This is mindful attention, awareness without judgment. To live this way is to choose response over reaction. A reactive mind mirrors chaos. A mindful one mirrors clarity. Each moment offers a test. Will you let emotion command your attention, or will you remain the one who observes? The master is not free from feeling. The master feels deeply but chooses wisely. When you bring this quality of attention into companionship, everything changes. The space between you becomes peaceful. Words become lighter. Energy flows naturally, because focus no longer leaks into distraction. Two people meeting in true attention are not just communicating, they are meditating together. In the ancient Shaolin halls, students were taught to strike and yield with equal grace. Too much force and the form lost harmony. Too much softness and the movement lost strength. Balance was not just a technique, it was a way of being. Life itself was the same training ground. Every encounter demanded the balance of opposites, action and stillness, giving and receiving, self and unity. In companionship, this balance becomes sacred. Many lose themselves in love, mistaking devotion for surrender of self. Others guard their independence so fiercely that no one can truly reach them. Both extremes lead to imbalance. One dissolves your essence, the other isolates it. The middle path asks something more refined, to stand rooted in who you are, yet open enough to grow alongside another. A true companion does not complete you. They challenge you to become whole within yourself. Through them you learn to listen without disappearing, to support without controlling, to stay soft without becoming weak. This is the discipline of balance. It requires awareness of your center, like a monk holding posture through the pull of wind and gravity. Shaolin masters train balance not only with the body but with the spirit. Every kick, every breath is a reminder strength and gentleness are not enemies. They are two wings of the same bird. In relationships, this truth becomes living practice. You give your heart without abandoning your peace. You receive love without clinging for security. The middle path is not found once. It is walked every day. It is the art of staying centered while moving in rhythm with another soul. When two balanced beings meet, love does not consume, it harmonizes. It becomes a steady flame, not a burning fire. In the Shaolin temple, young disciples are first taught to bow before they learn to strike. That bow is not ritual alone. It is a reminder that true strength begins with humility. The masters call this wardens. The martial virtue, the discipline that ensures power never outruns compassion and skill never outshines respect. Without virtue, strength becomes a weapon. With virtue, it becomes protection. In companionship, the same teaching lives quietly. Many believe strength is control, the ability to dominate, persuade, or win every moment. But real strength is steadiness in the storm. It is the calm heart that does not react, the soft voice that speaks truth without pride. When you can hold your ground without harming, you embody the highest discipline, power guided by peace. There was once a monk who carried water up the mountain every morning. One day, another novice mocked his slow pace. The monk only smiled and kept walking. When asked later why he didn't defend himself, he replied, "If I stop to fight every barking dog, I'll never reach the temple." That is martial virtue, knowing when to act, when to stand still, and when silence is the sharpest blade. In relationship, humility is not weakness, it is awareness, knowing that love cannot be forced and harmony cannot be commanded. To be patient is to trust the rhythm of connection. To be truthful is to honor the bond with clarity, even when it's uncomfortable. Your responsibility is to become a protector of peace, to create safety through steadiness, not control. Power without compassion breaks. Compassion without strength bends. The Shaolin way calls you to hold both, firm as stone, gentle as flowing water. This is strength in humility, and humility in strength. In the quiet hours before dawn, the Shaolin courtyard would be still. No sound but the wind brushing through bamboo. Each disciple sat in silence, eyes half closed, breath steady. The training had not yet begun, or perhaps this was the true beginning. For before one could spar with another, one had to learn to face oneself. The masters taught that every battle outside is only a reflection of the struggle within. Anger, jealousy, impatience. These are not caused by others, they are echoes of an undisciplined heart. To meet another soul in truth, you must first learn to meet your own shadows without fear. Silence is the mirror that reveals who you are when no one is watching. Many enter relationships searching for balance, unaware that imbalance already lives within them. They seek peace through another person instead of building it within themselves. But peace borrowed from someone else will always break. True harmony begins when you master your own storms, when emotion no longer rules you and thought no longer scatters you. Meditation, breath, and honest reflection are the ancient tools for this mastery. To sit with your breath until it steadies, to observe the rise and fall of thought without judgment, to face truth even when it is uncomfortable. This is inner training. The Shaolin path demands that you clear the mind not to escape, but to see clearly. When alignment comes, relationships transform. You no longer seek to be completed, you meet others as an equal soul, grounded and whole. The chaos around you no longer shakes your center, you become the calm in the storm, steady, aware, at peace. Only then can connection flow freely, not from need, but from clarity. In the Shaolin temple, every day begins before sunrise. The bell rings, the monks rise, and the same rhythm unfolds. Meditation, movement, silence, simplicity. To an outsider, it may appear rigid, even restrictive, but within those boundaries lies immense freedom. The structure is not a cage, it is a path. It releases the mind from chaos, allowing the spirit to move freely within form. This principle extends beyond the monastery walls. In life and in companionship, freedom does not mean the absence of boundaries. True freedom is born from discipline, from knowing what sustains peace and choosing it again and again. Without structure, emotion becomes impulsive. Without clarity, connection becomes confusion. The Shaolin way teaches that purpose grows best when given shape, just as water flows strongest when guided by a channel. A healthy companionship follows the same wisdom. Two souls walking together must agree upon certain principles: honesty, respect, presence, patience. These are not chains, they are supports, keeping both steady as they rise. When each person honors the shared structure, trust deepens and unnecessary suffering fades. There's a lesson in the temple's daily ball. The body bends not from weakness, but from awareness of what keeps harmony alive. In relationships, boundaries serve the same purpose. They remind you where balance lives. They teach you to hold yourself accountable and to protect what is sacred between you. Freedom through structure is the art of living with intention. It means deciding what you will give your energy to and what you will not. It means creating space where respect and discipline breathe together. Within that space, love becomes stronger, not smaller. It moves with purpose, guided by form, yet free in its essence, like a monk's spirit moving within the quiet order of dawn. In the early days of Shaolin training, a master would pair students together, not for ease, but for growth. One would be strong where the other was weak, one quick where the other hesitated. At first it felt uncomfortable, even unfair. Yet over time each learned that true mastery is forged not in isolation, but through shared discipline. Strength grows when it is tempered by another's presence. Companionship mirrors this ancient truth. A true companion is not a source of comfort alone. They are a catalyst, a reflection of what needs attention, a guide toward the lessons you may otherwise avoid. Together, two souls become instruments of transformation, challenging each other gently, reminding each other of higher purpose. In this way, the relationship becomes more than connection, it becomes evolution. The discipline here is subtle yet profound. It is the practice of lifting one another without pride, of giving guidance without force, of speaking truth without judgment. It asks patience, awareness, and an unwavering commitment to growth. Like the monk who corrects the stance of his partner without anger, the companion offers insight not to dominate but to awaken. Transformation in companionship is mutual. Each challenge, each moment of tension, each shared triumph is an opportunity to expand the mind and heart. The true responsibility lies in nurturing this evolution, to recognize the lessons hidden in ordinary moments, to act with mindfulness, and to honor the path each soul is walking. When both companions embrace this sacred service, love becomes more than affection, it becomes a practice of awakening. Each encounter is intentional, each word considered, each gesture, a quiet reminder that growth is the shared purpose. Together, two souls do not merely exist, they rise, they refine, they evolve. In the quiet halls of Shaolin, monks sit in meditation long after their bodies beg for rest. They endure the cold, the hunger, the ache, not to punish themselves, but to temper the spirit. Each moment of discomfort is a teacher, each hardship a mirror. The body grows strong, yes, but the heart learns patience, resilience, and clarity. The same principle unfolds in companionship. Love is not always soft. Connection is not always easy. Friction appears, disagreements, misunderstandings, moments that prick the ego or stir fear. Most turn away, seeking comfort or escape. But the disciplined soul turns inward, asking, what is this discomfort showing me? What hidden lesson hides behind the irritation or sadness? Discomfort becomes a training ground. In conflict, patience is forged. In hurt, awareness awakens. When you resist the impulse to flee, when you allow yourself to feel fully without reaction, the heart grows strong. The Shaolin path teaches that every challenge faced consciously becomes a tool for mastery. The same is true in relationships. There is a subtle art in this practice, to hold space for both yourself and the other, to feel the tension without being consumed by it, to see the misunderstanding as a reflection of deeper patterns, both within you and within the companion. Each moment of friction is an opportunity to transform emotion into insight, chaos into clarity. The heart, like the body, becomes disciplined through endurance. True strength is not absence of pain, but the ability to move through it with awareness. Each challenge, each uncomfortable conversation becomes a step on the path, a quiet shaping of patience, humility, and understanding. In this way, love and companionship become not a refuge from life's trials, but a forge for the spirit itself. In the final lessons of Shaolin practice, the masters speak of a unity that transcends the individual. The student who has mastered posture, breath, and movement begins to see that the highest strength is not in domination nor in isolation, but in harmony. Two forces moving together, balanced yet distinct, create a rhythm that carries purpose and peace. In companionship, this truth reveals itself quietly. An awakened relationship is not the blending of two identities into one, but the meeting of two complete souls walking side by side. Each person maintains their center, yet each presence amplifies the other. Conversation becomes intentional, not reactive. Silence becomes sacred, not empty. Every gesture, every breath carries awareness and respect. The discipline of such presence is subtle. It asks the mind to remain alert while the heart stays soft. It asks the ego to yield to awareness, yet not vanish. The Shaolin way teaches that when attention is fully cultivated, even ordinary actions become meditative. Folding clothes, preparing tea, walking through the courtyard, every movement can be an expression of mastery. In awakened companionship, shared life becomes practice in the same way. Challenges continue to arise, but they no longer fracture the bond. Friction is met with clarity, emotion with calm. Each person mirrors the other, not to control, but to reflect awareness. Over time, the relationship becomes a moving meditation, a shared space of growth, balance, and purpose. The responsibility in this form of union is constant and tender. To live consciously together is to honor each breath as a gift, each pause as a teaching, and each action as an offering. Presence deepens, clarity expands, and love transforms into something greater than desire. It becomes a disciplined, luminous force, guiding both souls toward mastery and peace. Being the chosen one for another soul is a call to awaken, not only to love, but to responsibility. It asks you to cultivate presence in every moment, to meet life and connection with clarity, patience, and discipline. It reminds us that true companionship is a mirror, a teacher, and a path for growth. As you carry these lessons into your daily life, Remember that every interaction is an opportunity for practice. Balance giving with groundedness, face challenges with awareness, and allow discomfort to guide you toward greater understanding. Each act of patience, each moment of mindful attention, strengthens not only the bond you share but the mastery within yourself. When two awakened souls move together with respect, humility, and intention, love transforms into something deeper, a living meditation, a shared journey of purpose, a sanctuary of peace. This is the essence of true companionship and the gift of being chosen. May your presence be steady, your heart disciplined, and your mind clear. Let each day be an opportunity to embody these teachings in thought, word, and action. If this message has touched your spirit and guided your path, join our community. Like this video, subscribe to Shaolin Soulfire, and continue walking the journey of awareness, virtue, and inner mastery together.